Ivan.
Are you nervous?
We're finally here. We
Yeah.
get started. We have the whole setup here. So, how did you get to this idea of doing this?
Right. Well, I think we always go to this one-on-ones, as we call it, our meetings, hourly meetings, every week, and we have great conversations. So the idea was that as I move into the new role, that we prolong the period that we talk to each other by having this podcast.
Okay, so now we're going to record our conversations.
Yeah, people start to laugh at us. And
Yeah. It's going to be a totally different story. I mean,
Yeah.
once you know you're being recorded, you
Right. Well,
behave differently.
And the idea also is that we invite other people then, and then we embarrass them, not just ourselves.
Okay, so we learn a little bit how this goes.
Exactly.
We are trying to optimize our setup here. We have a setup which is semi-professional. It's based on a full-frame camera with like a professional microphone. The only problem is once you go this way, it's all manual, so you have to learn how to set it up. If you use an iPhone, as you suggested, I think it's pretty close to this quality. It's just that everything is automatic, so you don't control anything. So it's one way or the other. I think this is a good test to see if this works. If this works, we can continue using this setup. Otherwise, we'll just try something else.
And I think the sound is pretty great. We can maybe switch to an iPhone for the video, so we will see after this run how it goes. Yeah.
The thing, of course, is you have to always synchronize your sound with your video.
Right.
So we'll have to find a way to connect then this microphone to the iPhone.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
It's probably possible, I think, but I have to think a little bit about it.
Okay.
So it's great. I think you brought a wonderful bottle of whiskey. It's dude. No product placement, but anyway, it's a great.
All right,
whiskey.
cheers.
Let's cheers to that.
To the new year.
To a good start.
Yeah,
of the
and to the good
podcast.
start. Well, in fact, this whiskey, it was a gift from Sveta. She gave it to me together with like a setup to make your own whiskey.
Oh, okay.
You mix it with like herbs, and there is also some pieces of wood.
Okay.
So you put it all together with a whiskey like that, which was more neutral kind of whiskey.
Okay.
And then you can make your own flavor.
Okay. So you start from an existing whiskey,
Right.
and you add some
Flavors
props.
to it.
Yeah. Some props to it, so flavors, and then you can make it more oak, or you can make it more smoky, or. Mm-hmm.
But I haven't done that, so I just drank the whole bottle. So now I need to buy a new
this
one.
is great. I also have maybe 3 or 4. I'm not an expert with whiskeys, but I have a few bottles. So for each podcast, we can just try
we can
another
do that.
one.
Okay.
And
A friend of mine, he does this wine testing with his friends, and then for every meeting they have, and they all live in different countries, for every meeting they have, and they probably meet every couple of months or so, or maybe every half a year, they bring the bottle of wine from the country where they live, and then they have to introduce the wine. So we can do something similar with whiskey. Or we just drink it. I mean, we can.
No. I think it's great. We can have all kinds of subjects. I mean, this is the unicorn part, I guess.
Right.
So this is certainly a good subject. I think we know someone who knows a lot about whiskey.
Who's that?
Geert.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
I didn't know.
He's an expert. Yeah, he has all kinds of whiskey. So that could be already one person we could interview about whiskey, basically.
Right.
Yeah. And I think we can talk about technology, we can talk about cosmology, we can talk about philosophy. Depends a bit on the books we're reading, I guess.
Sure. A friend of mine, I told her that the podcast is called Tech, Business and Unicorn Debates. And she said, this is because you're from Unicorn.
Actually, my daughter, she said, are you going to have your unicorn debates this afternoon? That's what she said.
Yeah.
That's the only thing she remembered.
Oh, that's good.
Of course, obviously.
Thanks to ChatGPT.
Yeah.
We can admit that.
Yeah. Is that not product placement? I don't know.
Maybe it is. Okay, but whatever. They're not going to pay us. That's okay.
No. But I think it's a great way that we came to this. I mean, the unicorn was added just to take it a little bit more lightly, I guess.
Yeah.
Not to be too serious. I think whatever crosses our mind, we can talk about it. This is the first tryout. We'll see. I mean, as we go along, we'll learn more about it.
Exactly.
We do have to find an audience.
Yeah.
if we want to learn, I think if we want to learn about making a podcast, and
you mean to get a feedback and so.
Yeah, to get the feedback of. I mean, if we listen to it, we're gonna find it's great, of course.
Yeah.
But if we find other people who listen to it, they may give us advice on
Yeah.
this part was a little bit boring, or this part is not really saying much.
I was actually thinking
this
about
is
it
too technical.
while I was driving to your place today. I thought about it, like at what point we should share it to many people and get the feedback, because once you start to get this feedback in, you are influenced by other people.
Okay.
So I thought, okay, maybe we first have to do it a few times to find our way, our team, and the way it works for us
Okay.
before we take all the feedback in.
Okay. Okay. So
To-
we're not going. So we find a direction,
Yeah,
and we stick to that direction, or we can gradually make it move in one or the other. But we stick to what we want to do.
I think
the
that would-
concept,
yeah,
and only then we go and then ask for.
I think to feel it a little bit how it works for us
Mm-hmm.
before we are influenced by other people, how they would see it, and so because they would be, I would imagine there would be feedback like all kinds of and all types of directions.
Oh yeah.
So maybe first we have to figure out what works best for us.
Yeah.
What's most fun for us.
I guess if we put it on YouTube and there's people, we're gonna get the comment section.
Yeah.
We're gonna know.
Maybe we should read that.
So if you guys want to put something on the comment section, please go ahead. I mean, also you can click on the what is it? Abonnement. I want to look at the
Like,
Dutch version.
Like or
No,
something?
it's
Follow?
subscription.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But not there yet. I mean,
Yeah.
this is just gonna be this one first movie. Huh?
Indeed.
Okay, so
the new year is coming.
yes.
What are your expectations?
Of the new year? It's going to be amazing. I mean, work-wise, I think it's going to be an amazing year.
I think a lot of things is going to happen.
I just had a chat this morning with one of the people that's going to, take a position within our team. And,
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be, interesting. He's going to accept somewhere beginning of the year. So
Yeah. Is it the person that we discussed?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it is.
Okay,
It is.
good.
It is. He had still some questions, so we had a discussion this morning, which was going nice. I think I like to kind of have this good vibe.
Mm-hmm.
That's important, to have a
For
good
sure.
vibe. So that was interesting. So that brought me to the fact that next year is going to be, on business-wise, going to be pretty exciting, and a lot of stuff that we're doing business-wise, I feel is going to come back in these podcasts as well.
It's possible. I think it's definitely possible.
Yeah. So
At least there's funny stories. Of course, some information we cannot share.
yeah.
but
So we have to find
There could be some.
a balance there, I guess.
Yeah. But I also will not bore people with in-depth discussion of topics which are
No.
confidential anyway.
No, that's
but
right.
it could be just some funny stories. And
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we should be able to share.
especially
that.
now from the trips to Asia.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Well, why don't you go ahead and share some of your stories?
Oh.
Your recent trip to Taiwan.
Okay, nothing immediate comes to my mind, but the whole thing about Taiwanese people embarrassing me
Why is that?
with the compliments and so
Oh,
on.
okay.
Yeah, sometimes I'm flushing. So
Okay. And are you a tall guy for them, or you kind of okay lengthwise?
lengthwise, that's an interesting question. No, I guess I'm a tall guy for them.
Okay.
Korea, actually, it was not the case at all. I think there are
Okay.
so many tall Koreans by now.
Okay.
I think there is like a huge gap between South Korea and North Korea at the moment. I mean, the height-wise.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, there is a difference, and this is related to food. Basically, nutrition is very different. In South Korea, well, they don't have too much to eat, right? Well, in North Korea, of course.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
in South Korea, I mean,
Plenty.
food is amazing.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
never been to Korea, so
that is my finding from the
Yeah.
recent trip. Food is great.
So if you compare Korean food with the Taiwanese or Chinese or Japanese,
Oh, very
food,
different. All very different. Like in cultures are also very different, but food wise also it's such a variety. So you start from Japan where it's like everything raw. All that you can eat raw, you eat raw.
Mhm.
And I've never been to China, but Taiwan is almost Chinese cuisine, but of course with their own varieties, and there almost everything is cooked.
Mhm.
You remember you and I on this food market in the middle of the night. Everything is deep fried.
Yeah.
So and that's why everything is safe to eat as well. And not to say that in Japan it's not the case, but and then you have South Korea. And South Korea is completely different. I mean, barbecue, of course, is one thing. Korean barbecue is great. Also the fact that you have like the main, let's say, barbecue is happening, but then you'll have all the small fermented side dishes, and you
Okay.
have so many of them, and you are at this dinner with a customer, you're eating your Korean barbecue, and they just keep on bringing the food, and you have no clue, is it like the beginning of the dinner, is it the middle of the dinner, because it's 1 hour and they just keep on
Keep
bringing.
on bringing stuff.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.